What's up, y'all? I'm Lady, and today I am here to discuss the graphic novels that I read in January. The first graphic novel I read in January was The Walking Dead Volume 30. This is the most recent one in the series and is becoming repetitive. Michonne had a wonderful surprise in this particular volume that I absolutely loved, but other than that, I'm like, we've seen this before. We know this story. Y'all meet a new community and what kind of weird things this community is gonna have going on, I don't know. My main question is, are we gonna find out how the zombies came about? The graphic novel I read was Ghost Whisperer, the Muse. This was a small graphic novel I found at a book fair that I went to, and I really enjoyed this one. If you are a fan of the TV show, The Ghost Whisperer, it's an old one with, I can't think of her name now, but she's on the cover of the book. And it follows the same storyline of the TV show. And this one, it was a ghost working through paintings. And Melinda is her name, the Ghost Whisperer's name, has to find out what's going on with this ghost. And it was really good. The next one, Saga Volume 8. I read that one last year, and I guess I forgot because halfway through when reading this, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this story. So Volume 8, nothing major really happens. But I'm just going to tell you now, we're already in February, deep in February, and I'm just now getting to this. And I've already read Volume 9, and it's a hot mess. Okay, that ending, I admit I was warned. And yeah, that's all I say about it, because I'll probably mention that one in February wrap up. But just know, not too much of anything is going on in the 8th volume. I read Incoggro Renaissance, which is a prequel to the first graphic novel. I really enjoyed this one. In this one, a writer is murdered, and the main character is when he decides to, start the switching up and going incognito to help find out what happened to this writer friend. And it is really good. I really enjoyed it. I hope there is more to come from the series, because the first two have been excellent. The Life of Frederick Douglass graphic novel was really good, okay? It is a new release, just came out in January. The art in it is just what I like to see, colorful, but so good. This author was able to, doing a biography like this, I can see how difficult, because you don't want to put words into the character's mouth, but I think they did a really good job. I think it'll be great for young kids, 5th grade, middle school age, to take in and learn about Frederick Douglass. I even learned a couple things new, which I've never read one of his biographies to begin with. So it was kind of like a bit of an introduction to me outside of the things, of course, that I learned during school. Next graphic novel was Embroideries by Marjane Satrapi. I must admit I was expecting more for this one, because I absolutely love Persepolis, but I guess this would be like a little comic novella, and it just has a few funny stories of her aunts and older ladies in her family talking about marriage life and relationships and sex and stuff like that. So it was a quick little read, but I was expecting more. Next was Princess Jellyfish Volume 9, which is the final volume, and it was totally rushed. It was just a total letdown to the complete series, in the fact that it was so quick. I mean, the last volume being like half the size of the other volumes, for one. And I don't know, it just was just like that. It was over, and it wasn't nothing major about it, anticlimactic and all of that. But still one of my favorite manga series that I've enjoyed so far since getting into that genre. I read was Frida, the story of her life. Now this has to be the most unique graphic novel I've ever read. The way it is written, it is Frida and death going through her life story. I must admit, outside of her paintings, and I think she is like known for surrealism, I think, paintings, and she talks about how she just basically drew her life most of the time, and oh my goodness, what a life she had. And if you are interested in finding more about her, I would definitely recommend this graphic novel. It was done really, really well. And I do know that some complaints people had was that it focused too much on like her personal physical disabilities after this major wreck she was involved in, and her crazy relationships. But I'm sure it's much more to that, but that was what the graphic novel focused a lot on. The final and my absolute favorite graphic novel of January was Illegal. This was so good. The art was so good. And this one tells the story of a young boy who wakes up and he's told that his brother has left to travel to Europe and look for a better life. And he then goes out and looks for his brother. He does find his brother early on in the story. And it is such a really good story. And I know this isn't something that is discussed a lot either, but a lot of people are dying and losing their lives in, you know, traveling over the desert and the water, leaving that part of Africa to get to Europe. And this story was told really well. I would definitely recommend it. The only down part is the chapter switch from then now, and I really wish if it was just a straight linear experience, and I think I would have enjoyed it more. But other than that, you cannot go wrong. I definitely recommend this one. I can see it being in my top for the year because I just enjoyed that story so much. That's it for the graphic novels that I read in January. If you are interested in the audiobooks or the physical books I read in January, check out my previous 2 videos. And that is it for me. That is the end of my wrap up for January 2019. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I am Lady, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.